Hi, I'm Debbie, and I'm the owner and artist here at Debbie's Rusty Brush. We do a little bit of everything here: furniture art, canvas art, thrifting, upcycling, repurposing, reselling, and just basically having a lot of fun. If you like these kind of videos, I would appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and hit that little bell so you always get notified whenever I'm uploading a video, which is typically on Thursday, but sometimes I do other days. Let's have some fun. All right, guys, so we are going to do a basic undersea, underwater background, and I'm going to use DIY clay-based chalk paint as well as some Dixie Belle mineral chalk paint. And with this paint, it's highly pigmented and I'm able to use a lot of water. So we're going to get some runs and some drips and a really nice underwater feel. So I've gone in with some blue iris and some mermaid tail. And like I said, just a bunch of water at this point. And I'm just moving the paint around with my brush. Now I'm going in with Dixie Belle's Bunker Blue. And I'm just getting the variants there in the background in the different blues. And I do want to spray a lot of water and let it run. We're going to dry it in between so we can see where we're at and where I want to add more detail to. Now I do have a paper towel sitting underneath it so that we catch any drips. And now I'm just using a paper towel to pull off some of the partially dried paint, and that gives some nice texture. Now we're going in with Amethyst in Dixie Belle, and they're again going to pull back and do a little bit of texture with that, get those runs going. We're going to do a little bit of Sandy Blonde here and there just to add in a little bit of contrast into our undersea background. Some more drying just to see where we're at. Now I am using a heat gun, and when you use a heat gun, you need to be careful that you don't scorch the paint. A hairdryer works as well. Now I'm going to take a little bit of bubble wrap here, and I am just hitting it in places around the edge because we will have something in the center of this canvas. And I just want to add some interest, so I'm going in with some white, which is White Swan from DIY, and an acrylic, which is, I believe, Artist Loft, and it is a sea green, and then with some folk art gold. And I just want to add some different interest and levels to this painting, and I thought the bubbles would work well with the water. And then doing some more drying. Now I'm going to go in with some more blue iris and get that running, and some more, what I'm going to be using is Old 57, which is kind of like the mermaid tail, but it is brighter. All right, a little bit more dabbing with the cloth to make some texture. Now I didn't like those lines that were through there. Add a little water, work the paintbrush a little bit, and they disappear. And then with a little bit more purple, a little more drying, just to see where we're at. And I just kind of wanted to dab a little bit of the paint off with the bubble wrap. So I didn't add more paint there. I was actually pulling paint away and making a negative there. And now we're going in with Old 57. As you can see, it's a much lighter teal color than the mermaid tail. And that's a DIY product as well. And so I'm just playing back and forth. There's no right or wrong to this. It's just building layers until you get something that is visually interesting to your eye. Okay, and so then we're just going to spray it down with water and add in a little bit more of our Dixie Belle Amethyst Purple with a little more water, a little dabbing with the toweling, And now I'm going in with just a little bit more Old 57 and blotting things back, adding a little texture. And now we're just going to dry it and see what we've got. All right, and so now I have gone in and I have drawn on a seahorse. Now I have drawn on this seahorse in orange, and I'm gonna go through here and just take some let's see, it is Summer Crush, which is an orange color, and go ahead and outline this. Now, when I draw on these, I use colored pencil, and if you're going to be going over with a light color, you don't want to use something too dark. It will mix into the paint as you're painting. But with this, I went ahead and drew it on in orange, and so I'm just outlining it in orange now, and getting a quite visible area for me to see. And now I'm going in with Queen Bee, and I'm just adding some little scales to his back here. This is all basically just an underpainting, just getting an idea of where we want things and getting it mapped out, and where we can see it, where it is not just the pencil, because I know the pencil is hard for you guys to see on camera. Now, as you could tell, when I sprayed, everything brightened up, and that is what will happen when we seal this. It will have that brighter effect. Now I'm going in with a little white, and then a little more of the purple, and a little Lucky Lavender. And I'm just going to play basically back and forth. I'm not real sure what colors that I want to put in here. And the more layers that you put in, the more interest that you will get. I do know I want the yellow and the orange in there, and I want some darker colors to contrast and blend in there. And I'm really liking these purples. So we're going to play a lot with the Dixie Belle Amethyst and Lucky Lavender and get a good blend going there. Now I'm going in with some DIY Kissing Booth, which is a hot pink, and I'm just going in and laying that in to see if I like it. Like I said, right now we're just basically doing an underpainting. If you don't like it, you can cover it up. You can bring bits and pieces of it back so that you see some of those colors underneath. So the more layers that you add, the more interest that you're going to add in your painting. So now I'm just going in and taking some of that orange and blending in. I'm sorry, I kicked the camera. I'm just taking some orange and blending it in with that pink so that it has a nice blend between the two. And as you can see, there are some areas that are brighter pink and some areas that have a little more orange. Now I'm going to go up here and add some Liquid Sunshine and a little bit of the orange back in to his head here. And I don't know why I'm calling him a him, but that's what we're calling him. And then a little bit more of the hot pink just to have the jawline show up a little bit more. And again, we're just layering, and you will see I'm just playing with colors. I'm trying to decide what I like, what I don't like, where I want to go. Now I'm going in with some Old 57 with a palette knife, and I'm just kind of scraping it along to see if I like the effect that this gives. And quite honestly, I decide that I really don't like it. But that's okay, because like I said, just a layer. And we'll let it dry and we'll do something different. So we're going to go in here with a little bit more yellow, lighten up the top of his head, get some variation between the colors, a little bit of a blend going on there. We've got some white going in to lighten that up. And then we're just going to kind of blot it down and bring back some of those colors that are underneath. And going back in, I did like that purple So I'm going back in with some purple and some of the Lucky Lavender, and then bringing in some orange right there through the tummy and kind of blending it in with that purple. And I'm bringing in some purple there towards his backbone, right there where his wing is. And we're bringing in a little bit more of the white and the Lucky Lavender and some amethyst, and just doing some blending to see what we like, if we like the way it's blending, where the colors are laying in, how they're blending together between this orange and the purple. I did decide to go in with some Queen Bee and bring in that other tone just to help with our blending. And now we're just going through with those scales and getting a little bit more color blending with that. I'm adding a little orange into the Queen Bee that we put on there, so that it matches more what we've got going in his tummy area. Again, guys, pick the colors that you like and blend them and just see where you're going. Now I'm going in here with some white and some liquid sunshine. These are DIY colors, and I'm just getting the wing put in here. I don't know that it's called a wing. I don't really know what it's called on a seahorse. Now I am dabbing this back. I'm adding water and dabbing more off because I want it to have kind of a translucent look. Like I said, I don't really know what a seahorse really looks like. I know that they have this, what I'm calling a wing, but I don't know if they're solid, if they're translucent, but I like having some of that blue show through. And so now I'm just adding some white and trying to add some moisture back in there and pull a little bit more off on the ends where I've got that orange in there, because I do want that a little bit more translucent in the blend. And so I'm just playing back and forth. Like I said, guys, no right and wrong on this, just play. Now, I do like this lavender and the purple, and so I'm going to go back in with that, blend it here on the canvas. I'm taking paper toweling and blending it more, kind of rubbing it back so that you see some of the pink and some of the orange come back through in areas where it just kind of gives the highlight of those. But it's going to be mostly this purple. I didn't care for the blue. I really, really like the combination of this purple with the orange, and I think that it is a good combination with the background. So I'm just playing back and forth until I get a blend that I really like. When I go in with the paper toweling, I'm blending it with the other colors, but I'm also kind of pulling back some of the colors that are underneath. So especially right there along the edges, I'm pulling back in a little bit of the orange here and there. So it just ties it in to the rest of the body. So now I'm just bringing it up and blending into the upper part of the body a little bit, making sure that we have a cohesive look, getting some highlights in there in areas. And now we're going to go in. I have got a dagger brush here. Now, this dagger brush allows me to add water to the paint, or if you're using an actual acrylic, to add an acrylic medium and to thin it out and to get these really nice wispies. Now, again, I am not sure if a seahorse has a mane or not, but mine has a mane because, well, why not make him fancy and have a nice wispy mane going on in the water. And so I'm just going in with some of our Summer Crush orange and some Queen Bee. And I decided that I wanted more wispy around the edges of his little wing there. And so I'm taking my dagger brush and bringing out some of what essentially would be like feathers if he was on land, but it's just kind of little tentacles that are coming off his wing. And now I'm going in with some more purple and some lucky lavender, and I'm just bringing in some different colors into his head to draw that up and make it cohesive with the rest of his body. And going in with the purple and the lavender and the yellow and the Summer Crush orange, and just blending until I like what I've got. Now I am going in with a little bit of white here, right there where his eye is going to be, because I want that to be brighter. And so then I'm going to add in the little eye, and I'm going to go around the black that I put in with some of the orange with just a teeny tiny brush. And then so there's a circle around the black part of the eye. And then I went in with a really small brush and put in some eyelashes. And now I'm going in with my palette knife and I'm just putting some hash marks here and there. In his nose, I went with the purple, and then down his back in the purple area, I'm going down with Queen Bee. And then as I get lower here, I'm going to go into Fire Starter, which is a much brighter orange than our Summer Crush. And then as I get further down the tail, I will switch over to the Summer Crush and take that through the end. And I just liked the variance that that gave me all the way down through, so that it wasn't the same, but it was the same treatment with just minoring variance in the color. And so I am just putting the little lines in with the palette knife and just going a little dash into it, so not even halfway in with this little dash, and it just adds a little flair to him. All right, and so now, and you see me put my lids back on. Chalk paint dries out pretty fast and I don't want it to dry out. Now I'm taking acrylic, and I've got acrylic white. I've watered it down with an acrylic medium and a little bit of water, and I'm just splattering the white up there. And then I go through with the acrylic sea green and I do some more splatters, and then I go through with a phthalo green and splatter some more. So I have the little specks, so he is under the water with the different algae and things that are floating around. And so this is our final product. I have to tell you guys, I really, really, really like this and the way it turned out. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that little bell thing so you get notified anytime I upload a video. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. As you can see, all of the different layers and things that we have going on that we've pulled back in these close-ups, it all really makes a difference in making this come alive and give interest, places for the eye to land. And so I really, really do like bringing in all the textures and the colors and the different things into the background. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll be back next week. Bye-bye.